Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hard 100, a video series documenting the culling of my collection from what it is to what it's going to be, and that's a Hard 100 games. Now, some of these games have boxes that are super big and have no business being as large as they are. I understand they're advertisements, but that's okay, because the game we're taking a look at today packs a lot of game in a little box. Two boxes, in fact, but I cut out that second one. Today, we're talking about a game that makes you think. A game that really kind of gets you in the theme of things and really makes you feel for its real characters, fictional characters. Some of them are real, some of them might not be. Today, we're taking a look at a co-op game that has been labeled one of the hardest co-op games in the world. No, not talking about Ghost Stories. That's down there. We'll talk about it one day. Today, let's get grisly. The Grizzled, a game by Fabian Rifald and Juan Rodriguez. Art by Tignaus. Cool many or not, is a cooperative game about the hell that was World War I. This game is a little difficult to explain, much in the same way a game like Lord of the Rings is difficult to explain. I've said before, when I look on the back of the box, I like to get a general idea on kind of what I'm in for. And with Lord of the Rings, the back of this box makes no goddamn sense. You have no idea what you're doing, but give it a play. It's fantastic. So much like that, the back of The Grizzled is in a similar... what? It's a card game? How is a card game a card game? Let me tell you what you're doing in here. This is a co-op game where you and a few buddies are going through World War I. And what you're essentially doing is a game that was like that Dead Man's Draw game where it was kind of a blackjacky thing where you're turning over cards and you're trying to get through as many of them as possible before you retreat. We have different times of day. We have morning, we have evening, we have snow, we have different hazards. We have whistles and artillery and gas masks, because, oh, fuck that war. And the whistle represents the charge. So the whistle, as far as the rules have led me to understand, was not a sound you wanted to hear in the middle of the night, because that meant, get your shit, we gotta go fight. And, oof. And if you turn over 3 of these, you basically lose the mission. So at the beginning of every mission, what you're going to do is you're going to pick an intensity. So let's say it's an intensity of 3. So everyone gets 3 cards. Everyone gets 3 cards, and one at a time. You can't really tell anybody what you have in typical co-op fashion, but you play a card, and then the other person plays a card, and sometimes these cards will be the locations, like I said, but other times, there'll be bad things. And these bad things are, I guess, character building things such as phobia, claustrophobia, clumsiness, stuff like that to make the game more difficult to play. So after you make it through your entire mission deck, you win. Played this game 3 or 4 times, didn't win once. Game is hard. Game is beautiful. This game has some art that I really, really enjoy. I recently read The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster. And in that book, there are a bunch of illustrations by a gentleman named Jules Pfeiffer. And this gentleman has all of these inky, squiggly kind of sketches of all of the various illustrations in the book. And that's the vibe that I get from this game. The kind of sketchy, squiggly... The best way I can describe it is that it feels uneasy. Like you're always tense for some reason, and it's not a relaxed style. It's a style that is in motion, always, even if it doesn't move. And it really gave a good feeling to the theme of being in the trenches and trying to go through this war, and then you pick your little character and you really, really, really want to do well. And so while you have your band of people, you really, really want to do well by them. Some of them, I believe, are real or descendants of the designers and things like that. So I think they are real people in this game, much like our Black Orchestra, wherever it disappeared to. You really get into it. And there's a bit of chance here. And whenever things are dire, you can always give a rousing speech to your men to try to bolster them and help manipulate some of the stuff in the middle. As a game, it's basically some kind of blackjack. Try not to bust. But as an experience, it's great. I will say that with one caveat. The Grizzled. A cooperative game, Can Friendship Be Stronger Than War, by Sweet Games and all of them, is a good game. A very good game. I'm very, very glad that I played it. But if it was just The Grizzled, I'd probably keep it for a few more plays than get rid of it. However, if you're getting this, what you need to do is spend the extra little bit of money and get the expansion. The expansion at your orders is exactly what it says, orders. This game, instead of the regular game, when you go on a mission, you just pick a quote unquote intensity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however much you want to be, and that's how many cards everyone's getting. More cards are better because you're able to do it, but it's also more of a chance you're gonna fail the mission. Between every mission, more cards get added to your deck, so you want to get through them as quickly as possible. What At Your Orders does is give you actual missions to go on. Easy missions, normal missions, and difficult missions. And they give you extra things to have to do and extra obstacles to overcome. They give you a better way to play the 2-player variant, and actually includes a solo variant. This, combined with this, is a very fantastic, great game. Dare I say, I know I just busted it out recently with Takedo, but I think the Grizzled, with this expansion, sons of bitches, is also a perfect game. There's not a single thing wrong with this game. You might not be able to win it every time because it is very, very difficult, but when combined with the expansion and the field that this game has going for it, and the characters, and coffee being a way to lift spirits, there's no better way, I think, to spend this amount of time playing a co-op game. Housekeeping. 2 to 5 players. We played it with 2. Playing it with 5 I think would be really, really good. In the missions that they give you, there are different intensities or different cards to deal out for low player counts and high player counts, which is a nice balance. Ages 14 plus, lots of guns, lots of war, lots of death, lots of dying. You don't want to explain to your child what it means to be frenzied, because there are a lot of very terrible things that happen to your people. Every once in a while, it can be humorous. The clumsy gentleman, whenever he retreats, will reveal another card, and we had one that revealed a card that had all the symbols and all the locations, and it lost us the game. And it kind of you son of a bitch, you are so clumsy, you lost us the game. It's also encouraged that whenever you give your arousing speech, that you actually give a speech. So giving a speech will allow a teammate or all the teammates to remove a card from their hand. However, you cannot ask, hey guys, what card would be good for you to get rid of? No, you just say something along the lines of, ladies, gentlemen, let me tell you a story about how terrible gas masks are. They're the worst. I saw a gas mask on a snowy evening just after a hard rain in the night. I don't know. So you make up these speeches to get them to remove the cards, and you really get into it. It's hard just to go rousing speech, get rid of gas mask. No, you don't do that. You play the game, and the game is fun, and the game does it. It says 2 to 5, but it also plays, there's a solo variant with the expansion. I haven't tried it yet, because this is very much a camaraderie kind of game, and I don't want to play with myself when it comes to this one. Now, I've been grading these co-op games with a butt clench rating system based on how close I am to feeling like I'm gonna lose, and that tension and everything that goes with that. So a game with high tension, such as Black Orchestra, has a very high butt clench rating, and a game that we played like Escape from 100 Million BC has a low butt clench rating because there's no tension there. This co-op has a butt clench rating of NA, not applicable in this situation. Reason being is, as soon as you start playing this game, you feel like you're gonna lose. It starts off easy and you're like, oh, we got this. And like, oh, we're losing bad. But here's the thing. What this game gives you that very few other co-ops give you in my experience is hope. You always feel like you can win. You always feel like you're one good card from winning. You always feel you're one good speech away from getting through the mission cards and winning. You have that hope from card 1 to card death, but never does it feel like you are proper screwed. It doesn't feel that. It feels like, hey guys, we're working together, and because we're working together, we can win. We can do this. We can do this. So there's no butt clenching going on. It's just really trying to figure out the best way to win, because damn it, we're gonna win even though we didn't win once. I know I'm not gonna win when we play this game, and if we do, it's fantastic, but I feel like I'm going to win. I feel like this is gonna be the time. And games are super quick, and usually when you lose, you don't lose closer to that 30-minute mark, you lose in like the 5-10 minute mark. So resetting up or reshuffling is a breeze. This is a game to play This is a game that births gamers. This is a game that if you are kind of into co-ops, that you are bored of the traditional pandemic style of co-op, kind of doing the same thing over and over again, this game has you co-op like you've never co-opted before. You're truly cooperating with your friends to try to find the best layout and the best order of these cards to get through this mission. You're gonna have some good missions, you're gonna have some fucking bad ones, but at the end of it, you're gonna feel satisfied. You're gonna feel like you played a real game, even though it is essentially a box of cards. Please note, I am not saying this about the Grizzled. I am saying this about the Grizzled and at your orders. There's nothing in this box. This box is gonna get tossed because everything fits in here nicely. Find them. It's like 25 bucks a piece, I think. So $50 for both. And this $50 gives me a lot more bang for my buck than most games that are double that price. Your guys have lucky charms that can kind of get them out of tough situations. It's essentially the Wonder Woman people. I forget what they're called. They're not the Howling Commandos because that's Marvel, but the Wonder Woman people, when she's no man's landing and going through all her stuff, it's the people that follow her. You're like, oh, they're gonna do it. Yeah, they would have died. But this game makes you feel like whatever they were. Not a Howling Commando. The Grizzled and its expansion, 100% in the hard 100. It is perfect for my shelf. It is perfect for yours. Go out, get it. If you've played it, tell me about it, because it feels like almost a storytelling game, but not in a traditional, this is a storytelling game, so you do most of the heavy lifting. No, this game is doing all the heavy lifting, and it is allowing you to tell a story with it. This one, I already have a spot for it. It's going right over here on my shelf. Again, thank you so much. My name is Billy. This has been the Hard 100. That has been the Grizzled plus the expansion. Get them both or don't get them at all. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Peace out.